All right, folks, I'm back to talk to you about yet another awesome trauma-informed personal training that I have done. So, it was 2 weeks ago, I think, that I talked to you last. I'm actually in Germany right now. You can see right there. Staying at my friend Natalie's apartment and doing lots of fun activities like visiting castles and mountain biking and seeing new cool cities. And also, I got to do a session online with Gabi while I'm here. The only things that I've needed for these sessions have been a foam roller and a tennis ball. So I had to go buy a foam roller, but that was pretty cheap, and I borrowed a tennis ball. So if this is your first time watching one of these videos, I have 2 other videos previous to this. So if you're feeling like you're missing information, please go back and watch those 2 videos. But if you've seen those 2 videos, you know that the biggest thing that is bringing me to doing all this work is just the fact that I'm having a lot of kind of like chronic pain, mostly on my right side, as well as like tension headaches when I'm riding bikes. It's like all the fun activities seem to be causing me pain, and I don't want that anymore. So I'm taking a different approach to personal training and to just doing activities in hopes that it's going to help me to actually feel good when I'm doing the things that I enjoy doing. So let's chat about how that's going. One huge thing has happened in the past 2 weeks, and that's that my right leg that was like constantly aching has pretty much stopped aching. Now this happened before the personal training session that I just did with Gabi, I guess a week ago now. It's definitely a lot due to that first personal training session that I did the video about, as well as I think the advice that I got from my chiropractic friend about engaging different muscle groups. So with that in mind, in this next training session, we also built on how my body was feeling, which was really cool to see that happen. But yeah, so let's talk about that leg. So my leg for, I don't even know how long, I guess like almost 2 years, has been aching pretty much every time I walk for long distances, or every time, I don't know, like I'm doing an activity that within the next like 2 days, it'll start aching the next day. But for whatever reason, which is amazing, in the last week and a half, I've only had 1 day that I've had aching going on in that leg. And that was after like quite a bit of activity. While I've been here, obviously, like I'm in Europe, you have to walk a lot in Europe. It's just the way that it is, which I'm not complaining about. But if this leg had been aching, oh my God, that would have been so miserable. I've also been mountain biking quite a bit and dancing, went out dancing. And out of all those activities, there's only been, like I said, part of 1 day, it was only like a couple hours that this leg has been aching. It's also amazing because I shot a 7-hour wedding the day before I flew here and didn't have any pain that entire day. And then on the plane ride, which I was super worried about, I didn't have any pain. I can't imagine how horrible it would have been if I was stuck on a plane for 10 hours and my leg was aching that entire time. So this is huge. This is like such a big difference, and yeah, it just feels incredible. So let's get talking about this last session, our most recent session. So Gabi gave me a ton of new exercises, some of them built on the old ones, but a lot of them were just brand new, and they're all incredible. But part of that being incredible is that a couple of them especially have gotten really big into like problem areas that has meant that I have had to do a lot of processing of emotion and energy as it's coming out, which is, and I mean, that's like exactly what we want, because that means that that's where transformation is going to happen. So I'm very grateful for that, but it also means that it just takes more time, and I'm not able to kind of just like stick to a list. I have to stay very kind of present with what's going on and move through that and kind of decide how I can adjust and what I have space for. So the 2 big things that have really felt like they affected me have been this exercise right here, which gets into the hips. Actually, there's 2 that are involved with the hips that there's been like you can just feel that there's so much tension in that area. And then also under my arm in the shoulder area, that one is just, man, it's just so crazy how much energy is stored in there. So it makes a lot of sense, right, that these are the 2 areas, because these are the 2 areas that I'm storing the most tension, and I have for years. Each time I do these exercises, they hit a little bit differently, but they're involving a lot more kind of release than I don't know, I wouldn't say it like I expected it, but it's just like, it's such a different approach to doing fitness, right? It's like you do the exercise and then you sit with it for a bit, or I do anyway, to kind of let that energy move and transform, because that's what I want. I want that energy transformation. And it's cool to have these sessions where that is actually validated and understood, instead of feeling like I constantly have to be like pushing farther and harder to get to somewhere, when that is clearly not the way that my body operates and what my body needs right now. So yeah, that is week number 2 and 3. And I'll be back in another 2 weeks with another one of these videos and an update on how that time has gone and what the next session's like. If you are interested in learning more about what Gabi does, she's got numerous programs and options. You can find her information at the end of this video as well as in the description. She's tagged, and yeah, that's about it.